Chapter 2 From the Library of Joe Hills.
Thunder crashed into the ground, rumbling the library. "There's nothing here," I exclaimed.
Have patience, Scar.
Gran responded, pulling another book off the shelf. "I'm not a doctor," I muttered under my breath. He glared at me, fluffing up his parrot wings to look annoyed. He had light brown, messy hair and piercing blue eyes. He wore a crimson jumper and gray sweatpants. "I can't help it," I said, flatly, throwing my hands up dramatically. Unlike Gran, my brown hair was smoothed back, and my brown leather jacket and loose tan shirt made me look somewhat like a zookeeper.
I know.
He looked back down to the book in his hands. "What are we looking for again?" I asked, pulling the book off the shelf.
Not that.
He scoffed. "What?" I asked. "It's Allison's Amazing Adventure. It's a best-sell," I pointed out, reading the cover of the obvious children's book. Gran laughed.
Why do they even have that in high school?
He asked, wiping a tear from his eyes. I shrugged, sliding it back into its place.
I didn't travel back in literal time and space to read that.
He scoffed. "I still can't believe X thought it would be a good idea to send us," I breathed.
To here, of all places.
He shivered. "You're the only one who's been here," I pointed out.
I went to high school here. That doesn't mean I know every name of every book on the shelf.
I shrugged. "Worth a shot. They remodeled and remade the school," I reminded him. He gulped.
Thank goodness for that.
"Come on!" a voice yelled, coming from the hallway outside.
Hide.
Gran exclaimed. I jumped behind the checkout counter and looked through the books on the lower shelf to see. The library's supposed to be closed, I thought. I watched as one kid tugged another through the door.
I'm not sure if this is the best idea. We're not allowed in here.
A girl said hesitantly. She had light brown hair with blonde tips. She had falcon wings and feathers behind her ears. She had a pink flower in her hair, green eyes, and wore a yellow dress. "Oh, come on, Marigold. The sky's falling," the other girl snapped. Her dark brown hair and purple dress flowed as she moved. She twitched her wolf-black ears and wagged her tail in a rhythm. Her sharp blue eyes scanned the room.
We shouldn't be here, Limerick.
Marigold repeated, jerking her hand away. "Why? It's a school. Why isn't the library open?" Limerick countered. "Besides, everyone is on break right now. No one will come in here," she explained softly, grinning.
All right.
Marigold gave in.
I'll help you look for this dumb book, but after that, I want nothing to do with it.
She said firmly. "You're the best!" Limerick exclaimed happily, pushing to pull books off the shelves. I shared a look with Gran, who was hiding behind a beanbag. He blinked, his gaze annoyed. I shrugged. "We're going to be here for a while." So a little while later, I was laying on the floor staring at the ceiling.
Girls!
A voice suddenly screamed. I adjusted just in time to see Marigold grab Limerick's arm and tug her away. Limerick dropped the book in her hand. "But
We have to go,"
Marigold demanding, pulling her away. Limerick kept her eyes on the book for a moment longer before rushing out with her friend. A teacher wandered in, looking around. Her eyes looked tired. She groaned, picking up the book and sliding it back into its place on the shelf.
Kids.
She muttered, stomping out. She slammed the door behind her. I sighed and got to my feet. My back popped when I stretched. Gran groaned.
Finally.
He exclaimed, walking toward the bookshelf and yawning. I stepped out from behind the counter. "What are they looking for, anyway?" I asked, rubbing my eyes. Gran slid the book off the shelf. Gran had been looking at. He blinked a couple of times when he flipped open the first page.
Scar.
He muttered. I looked at him, tilting my head.
This is the book. The one X
He breathed.
wanted.
He breathed. "No," I said, suspiciously, snatching the book from his hands. I couldn't believe my eyes. I saw a stamp in dark red ink. The exact thing Exuma had told us to look for. From the library of Joe Hills.